Hello, everybody! Rufo here, and I bring to you The Guardian Legend, Secret Edition, version 3.3. The Guardian Legend was released in 1998 by Irem and Compile, and Borderrun Software was in there too. The ROM hack Secret Edition was made by a fellow who goes by the name Optomon in 2013. At least that's when this version came out. However, the story is unchanged. Long ago, an alien race sent a huge world hurtling towards the Earth, loaded with a cargo of mysterious life forms. You must battle your way deep within the alien world to destroy its vicious inhabitants. You are the Guardian of Earth, and your saga will become the Guardian Legend. Oh, there we go. I suppose in some ways, if one could look at this as being a form of unofficial sequel to the original game, making this Guardian Legend 2. This would be perfect for those with the mindset that nothing was wrong with the first game, therefore the sequel should just be more of the same. You know, kind of like Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels, if you really believe that's the true Super Mario Bros. 2. But never mind, shall we begin? Haha! Let's approach the planets! There are three big differences to be found in this game between this game and the original. One of course is map layout. The second is enemy density, and the third is of course general difficulty. You might be able to notice that enemy density already, despite everything looking very similar. However, I just blasted one of the, stuff that definitely was not there. In fact, there they come again. Ha-ha! Alright, now we're coming in for a landing, we can kind of relax a little bit. Like that. Onto the defense cannons. So it might look similar, but there is a difference between this and the original game. What's the difference? It's that cannon on the bottom. That one was not there before. And now it is dead. If I'm not careful, so too shall I. Those red balls, those are large power chip pickups. They'll give us up to 500 power chips and 2 hit points. Since our maximum power chips is 50, that will change. If someone is reading this, I must have failed. Our star, Naju, was our home. But we were invaded by evil life forms. Everyone except me was killed. I'm going to try to activate the self-destruct device. If I fail, I would like to ask you to do this so this cannot happen to any other race. The self-destruct device is protected by a safety device. It is located in the underground corridors. Remove each seal and go deep inside Naju. You destroy all 10 of the safety devices. The self-destruct sequence will be activated. I don't have much time. I hope this message will not be read by anyone. It will mean I have failed. Well, sadly you failed. So, let's move around and collect stuff. Roger, in the portal, sub-weapons. Such as this one, the Area Blaster. It will give us for 50 power chips. Have that many, so let us take the weapon. And, it's gonna be a while before we can get that one. It might be a bit less time before we can get a hold of that one. Alright. not worry about that. Instead, pick up some firing strikes, which increase our fire rate. This is our normal fire rate. Here's our new improved fire rate. It actually shows off the shot limit that we have. This game actually achieves a lot of things through very strict sprite limits. And well, essentially there are 5 sprites dedicated to us, to the player, the Guardian. There is our actual character, and 4 projectiles. If we equip a weapon, such as our area blaster, then our shot limit will decrease to 2. This is because those other 2 projectile spots are being reserved to the weapon, even though we don't have the chips in order to fire the thing. Heart restores 5 hit points. Kind of useful. I really should have gone and picked up some power chips. It would be quite useful fighting that one. Ah! This will do. This doorway is keyed. Since we don't have the key, we can't go that way. Instead, pick up some power chips by exploiting these static blue chip pickups. If we get ourselves access to it but from a diagonal, but it doesn't let us actually pick it up, then we're able to pick it up, but not. So we repeatedly pick it up on every frame, which will refill our health and chips very quickly. Let us do battle! Take that, punk! This is a red lander. It will increase our maximum chips. When our power chips is at 100 or greater, then our regular bullets have a wider attack pattern, which also travels faster. But that increase in our maximum chips is a permanent increase. So let us go and purchase the weapon, which we need 100 chips for. The Wave Blaster! It is mine! Let's actually come down here and refill our chips. Now it is possible for enemies to drop those blue chip pickups, but those are actually different from the ones that are found statically on the map. That is a grenade! Yoink! Grenades are actually an interesting weapon. As you can notice by that our regular bullets were limited to 3. The grenade only uses 1 projectile slot, but it also covers a very large area. At least it can cover a large area. At present, it's a somewhat small area. But got projectile, and then the explosion. Because the grenade only has 1 projectile to work with, the explosion actually only exists in 1 spot at a time. It's just changing spots every frame. And well, because of that, and because This video will be going up to YouTube at 30 frames per second. And you're not really going to see the full size of the grenade explosion. Or a lot of other things, really. In fact, enemies fading in might look funny. Yeah. I'm fully capable of recording at 60 frames per second, but my processing software only outputs at 30. So these are the things we just have to work with. I had all the corridors sealed. Need to know how to remove the seal. Ask the person who sealed it. To remove the seal to corridor 1, fire at the gate. All the rooms leading to the corridors are locked. We use the warp panel to get into the room. To use the warp panel, blast through the cover. But you'll also need a key for the panel. Yes, a keyed warp panel will have some kind of pattern on the actual warp space. This guy's gonna tell us about our sub-weapons, or more appropriately, how to get them, which is find them in boxes and take them. So some of them have been stolen. So if you want those, you'll have to destroy the life forms that stole them. But all these weapons will need power chips. Alright then. This room is the location of Corridor 21. In order to finish the game, we must complete Corridor 21. That's all we have to do to finish the game. But to make Corridor 21 show up, we need to clear Corridors 1 through 10. Which is going to take us most of our time in the game. And there's the multi-blaster. Which is a decent weapon. Kind of like our bullets, only it travels a little faster. And, well, unlike our bullets, which have a distinct firing rate, the multi-blaster will launch again as soon as it's removed. In fact, all of our weapons do that. Very useful. But in here, we'll find Corridor 1. That is a locked panel. So, blast the gate off. Open up, you. Aha! Let's go. Into the sea. Play with the fishies. The multi-blaster also has the unique property of always being able to fire in any direction. Specifically, here in these corridors, we are always facing up. So the default direction for most of our weapons will be up. The multi-blaster, however, will fire in whatever direction we are traveling. Let's bring out the area blaster. This gives us 2 seeking projectiles that hunt down and clobber enemies. Very slowly. It's a very reliable weapon, which we'll make good use of. This is also perhaps the new player friendliest weapon. The number of shots available to us, for the area blaster, that is the number of seconds in which the weapon will be active. An item I just picked up was an energy tank, which will fully refill my health. So when you have the area blaster going, you'll probably want to keep a finger on the special weapon fire button. That way, if one of the bullets goes off screen and despawns, you'll bring a new one out to play. So the weapon uses the same amount of energy if there's only one projectile on screen instead of both of them. We just want to make the most out of our chips. Well, fancifully enough with the area blaster, it's a lot like the multi-blaster in that the projectiles, when they launch according to whatever direction you're facing. So if you're up against the side of the screen, yeah, that can happen. There's that energy tank again. You guys, like, drop some chips for me? I'd love it if it were a blue one, that way I could actually see how many those are worth. What we got? Oh. No boss is... Well, originally this was a labyrinth trap boss. As opposed to the blue Bleepo we might have been expecting. Our method of dealing with him is to drag the area blaster through him. Specifically using the bullet that is following us rather than the one that's trying to attack the enemy. No reward! It's the warp panel key! The warp panel key for areas 1 and 2. And an additional item. Which is not the repeater, it's the cross saber. I bring up the repeater because that's what that's what you used to get for that's what you'd get in the base game for clearing Corridor 1. Ah, yes. Blue ones, the blue chips dropped by enemies. These are only worth 10 power chips, but they are worth more hit points. Right, so they're the ones we can find statically on the landscape. Never mind about that. Prepare for battle! Against the worm! Spawn spiders! Yeah, we already fought one of these. That's, yeah, now we're fighting another one. The big difference is it spawns more worms. But now it is dead. It gives to us another multi-blaster, which upgrades our multi-blaster and makes it golden. Requires 3 times as many chips, but it hits harder and travels faster. It's rather odd to get to upgrade a weapon so quickly, but since the multi-blaster is one of the weakest weapons in the game, it's very fitting for it to upgrade at this point. There's our laser sword. The laser sword and the cross saber are both basically exactly the same weapon, except this one only needs 1 projectile. This one unreserves 2. In order to provide a form of constant damage to our enemies. Constant damage is actually a very important thing to think about in this game. Because an enemy can only damage you if it is not being damaged at the same time. There are very few weapons which can damage enemies on every frame, and, well, these laser swords are one of them. Or 2 of them, as the case might be. But of course, the protection afforded us through this exploitation is really only possible on enemies with very large sprites. So, corridor bosses, basically. Hello, you! Beat sword! Beat more sword! This is a blue ender, which extends our life. Whoa. You gotta be careful with those red enemies. They actually do a lot of damage, so yeah, they really hurt. There's Corridor 11. We'll come back to it later. Because we have another weapon to pick up. That's one, which is the bullet shield. Bullet shield is... it's a pretty terrible weapon, really. It is a defensive weapon. And its modus operandi is to orbit you and kill things it makes contact with. Now that projectile can destroy enemy bullets, but it doesn't actually do a lot of damage. Oh well. You may have noticed a few things about Corridor 11. First off, all the panels were the same color. And, well, the second thing you might have noticed, I did not list Corridor 11 amongst one of the corridors we have to clear in order to make Corridor 21 show up. Yes, Corridor 11 is optional. Corridors 11 through 20 are optional, in fact. But, they're definitely worth doing. I need to be careful or I could die. Whew! Much needed heart. Like that. We hit another point threshold, which gave us a blue lander through our score. I only know where the first 2 point thresholds are. The first is at 30,000, and the next one's at 100,000. I don't know where the ones to follow are at. Maybe I'll concern myself about them after things are less trying to kill me all over the place. You have reached the boss of our corridor. In this case, we'd be expecting a green Optimon for Corridor 11. No, instead we get a green Fleepa. Take that! Use! Let the saber can do damage on every frame. And we get no key as a reward for clearing this corridor. Oh. Instead, we shall get more grenades! No, wait. That was in the original game. No, here we get our fireball. Which, makes clearing Corridor 11 kind of useful. The fireball is the highest damage weapon in the game. It's kind of slow traveling being at first, but, that can change. But alas, we do not have enough chips to fire it again. Out of power chips. But this will be okay. After all we have to do is make it out of Area 1. Then make our way towards Area 2. Yes, we have gotten everything out of Area 1. Let's get out of here. Travel to Area 2. Clear you guys out of the way. And reload on stop. Hooray! Then we'll make our way into Area 2 next time. We'll see you then. Later.